Number 1. Eken H9R Action Camera. The Eken H9R is an incredibly typical action camera, at least in terms of design. It has a dimension of 59.341.124.6 mm 2.331.620.97 and it weighs only 65 g 2.3 ounces. That also includes the battery, which is quite surprising as it's much lighter than most other action cameras. Overall, it's really well built. I actually didn't expect to get as good of a build quality as I did. You can easily compare it to much more expensive cameras and not find a single difference. The camera is also made out of plastic and you can choose between different colors as well. The Eken H9R is equipped with the LV4689 image sensor and the SunPlus 6630 chipset. This exact same sensor has also been used by Sjcam in their M10 Plus and SJ4000 Plus action cameras. However, Eken has somehow managed to make this combination record in 4K as well. Well, that requires some explaining actually. You see, the so-called 4K that this action camera records isn't real. It's an interpolated version of 1080p. It means that the action camera still records in 1080p and then just resizes it to 4K, which means that you won't get the same video quality. But this is the case with all of the super cheap action cameras that promise 4K recording. So I'm not even going to bother commenting about it. This action camera is really designed to record in 1080p and 720p. The full HD resolution can be recorded at up to 60 frames per second and the 720 at 120 frames per second. That's actually pretty good as both of the frame rates are excellent for capturing fast-moving objects. But enough about the technical data, let's take a look how it performs in real life. The biggest disappointment about this action camera is the battery. It's powered by a 1050 mAh Li-ion battery. On the plus side, it's replaceable so you can swap it, which I definitely recommend as the included one isn't the best. You can get around 45 minutes out of it when recording 1080p videos at 60 frames per second. However, I have seen tests where they swapped it with a smaller 900 mAh Sjcam battery and got 70 minutes out of it. So I definitely recommend buying an extra battery, preferably the 900 mAh one by Sjcam. Number 2. Sjcam SJ4000 Air Action Camera. This time this audit is for Sjcam's SJ4000 Air Action Camera HD 4K camera, the SJ4000. At first look, this camera takes after the look and feel like a GoPro camera. SJ4000 Air Action Camera is the lightweight and straightforward outline. It supports HD recording, re-establish everything about. It has the extras are finished, to adjust to an assortment of occasions. For more and most extreme help 128GB memory card. The SJ4000 Air Action Camera likewise has a motion detection highlight which is entirely plain as day. Divert on the motion detection from the camera's menu and any movement before the camera will begin the account. Sjcam publicizes this capacity as their home security feature. I'm not so much sold on this thought as a home security since the camera can caution you continuously that somebody is crawling around your home. On the off chance that this camera had a Wi-Fi association in the privilege application, you ought to have the capacity to at any rate see some gushing film. Speculatively, odds are that you could see the recording from the camera, however by then it would as of now be past the point of no return since you would see the individual who ransacked you leaving the premises. Whether you decided to buy a Wi-Fi or non-Wi-Fi version, you should be aware that there are lots of fake copies of SJ4000. The reason for this is because the earliest release of the product was not patented. Due to problems with fake SJ4000 appearing on the market, here are some links where you can get official product. Number 3. Eken H9 Action Camera. So why is H9 by Eken is an interesting camera? Is it because it shoots videos in full HD at 30 or 60 frames per second? Is it because it comes action-packed with accessories, has a built-in Wi-Fi and a neat 2-inch LCD screen? Or is it maybe due to the fact that it can shoot 4K videos in useless 10 frames per second? The real reason why this camera is interesting is that it provides all these features for a little over $40. Price and options it offers make this device, launched by Chinese brand Eken, quite interesting. As you might have noticed, camera uses the same OV4689 image sensor as 3 times more expensive SJ4000 Plus and M10 Plus cameras, but has different, quite unknown SunPlus 6630 processing chip, on which there is not much info available. Resolutions: you will probably use the R1920x 1080, Full HD, at 60 or 30 frames per second. If you intend to use slow motion in your video, shoot at 60 frames per second, as more frame rates give impression of more realistic and faster movement. 60 frames per second can be slowed down in post-production and still look smooth, so if you know how to use video editing software, 60 frames per second is a way to go. For some everyday recording, use 30 frames per second, as it consumes less memory and battery. Number 4. Drift Ghost X Action Camera. Introducing the Drift Ghost X Action Camera, an affordable budget-friendly action camera under $100. If you are looking for a quality action camera to record your sports activities or just to record your journey, look no further, because the Drift Ghost X Action Camera could be your next pick. In our in-depth review about Drift Ghost X Action Camera, we are going to talk about the features, specifications, and more that this camera brings to the table. When it comes to performance, the Drift Ghost X Action Camera makes a great entry-level product for beginners who are looking to dive into the media streaming platforms such as Vimeo or YouTube. This action camera is capable of recording videos at 1080p HD up to 30 frames per second. Furthermore, you will have the option to record videos at 720p up to 60 frames per second. The quality of footage, however, isn't the best, but still makes great content for those who enjoys riding their motorbikes. In addition to that, the Ghost X Action Camera do make a good pick for dashcam, especially those who wants to have a dashcam to protect themselves against the laws and to use videos as evidence. It features loop recording that can be used to save portion of videos and to make it easier to manage the microSD card. Since it has rather limited storage, it is recommended that you purchase a 64GB microSD card. Number 5. Global version Xiaomi Mijia Mini. I don't understand what Xiaomi's strategy is here, allowing Mijia to create their own action camera when it has traditionally been the domain of Xiaomi, Xiaomi's dominant action camera arm. While this could present issues of cannibalization between both companies, it's great for consumers such as us. More choice is never a bad thing. The Mijia Camera Mini is a 699 RMB, $106 USD, action camera that is capable of shooting true 4K, making it instantly one of the cheapest 4K action camera options out there. Granted, those who live outside of China are faced with higher prices from resellers, around $115 USD, but that still represents one steal of a deal, assuming Mijia gets this right. The Sony IMX317 sensor inside the Mijia Mini is able to shoot at 1080p, 60 frames per second, with image stabilization in 4K, 3840x2160, without. In bright sunlight, the colors look vivid with the whole picture showing more contrast than the GoPro. It's hard to believe this action cam costs less than 100. There's a variety of different features you can play around with, including time-lapse, slow motion, burst and loop record. The timer has options of a 3, 5, 10, or 15-second countdown to get those perfect solo or group shots. Do I recommend the Xiaomi Mijia 4K Mini? Yes. It's a great little action cam that becomes an awesome action cam when combined with the Mijia gimbal.
Thanks for watching. You can find links, price and description to these products in the description box. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.